Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Wellness Blueprints. I'm so glad you are here to nourish your roots with me. I'm Jess Milner, and listen, today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about hydration and the importance of hydration because, oh, let's be honest, it's fucking hot. Uh, if you are, in really anywhere in North America, I think you're probably melting at the moment. Even here in North Idaho, where it like took a while for the summer to really get rocking, it is like 100 degrees today. I'm definitely happy that it's not like a super humid heat like I am used to dealing with on the East Coast, but hey, nevertheless, it is hot, and it is really important that you stay hydrated. And I'm not, I mean, water is wonderful, but it's not enough when it comes to things like this. When it comes to truly keeping your body hydrated, your body is an electromagnetic. I mean, we are electrical. We run on electrical currents. So you've probably heard this word, electrolytes. And we want to replace electrolytes as we are sweating. We want to replace them. We want to make sure we're getting enough of them because these things are literally powering our whole bodies. So your autonomic processes, like all these things that happen automatically in your body, like your heart beating and your digestion, metabolism, all these things that are going on, it's happening because of these electrolytes that are bringing on this electric current, this charge that it needs to make it all run. Okay. So, uh, when you drink a bunch of water that doesn't have these added in, it's not that it won't hydrate you, but when you do that too much, especially, you could drink, several gallons of water a day, and you're going to have an off balance electrolytes. A good example of this could be, if you're a parent and you have, your kid and they're having little rabbit turds and you're just like, oh my goodness, what's going on? And the doctor's like, oh, you make sure that they're drinking enough water. And you're like, well, they always have water in their little bottle and they're always drinking water. The kid drinks plenty of water. If you're constipated after drinking lots of water, you're not hydrated. So you're not hydrated. So what are electrolytes? Okay, so yes, they are the things that they make this electric charge throughout our body, but they're minerals. Okay, so your sodium, potassium, calcium, these are the body's electric starters. These are the charges. We need these things to make all of these things inside of our body happen. Okay, so when we don't have enough of these, we might get super tired. You might start feeling dizzy, headaches. So often, you can get rid of a headache by just making sure that you are properly hydrated. Okay, uh, constipation, like we mentioned, but you're going to start to end up with heart problems. You're going to start to end up with kidney problems because you're going to have an imbalance of electrolytes. And then your kidneys and your heart, they're not going to be working properly. You're going to have metabolic issues. You're going to have digestive issues. You could start to have heart palpitations. Like I said, dizziness. You might get confused. And then, of course, there's nausea too. That's happened in my family. I've noticed that with my kids. Mommy, I don't, I feel nauseous, blah, blah, blah. Sometimes what we do, like even in the car, if you have a kid that, or gets motion sickness, feeling a little nauseous while you're driving around or whatever. I keep a thing of sea salt, Himalayan sea salt. I think it's actually, I think I'm trying to think which one. I know I have Redmond's real salt in the kitchen. I think that's what I have a little thing of in the car. I put it in a different little jar, but I keep that in the center console of my truck. And you just take a little bit of that salt and put it on the tongue or under the tongue. And a lot of the time that is going to help to rebalance things out. Okay. So we need this to have we need proper electrolyte balance, and you're just not getting it from just plain old water. And I have to point out, I do not recommend things like Gatorade. There's another one that my kids like because somebody brought it to the soccer practice or soccer game. I think it's called Prime or something like that. But the ingredients in there are just no good in either one of them. I know in the Gatorade they've got, and even like for kids, the Pedialyte, they tell you to give little kids Pedialyte when they have, diarrhea or they're, have a fever or something. And yes, they have the electrolytes in there, but they also have a couple different kinds of sugar in there. Sometimes they have artificial sugars. They have artificial colors a lot of the time. And then they have some other things in there. I think I've seen like polysorbate 80 in there, and just what was the one in the Prime? There was something. One there. I'm not going to remember what it is right now because of course now I'm stuck on the spot there. But on the spot. But there's something else in there that I looked at, and I was like, oh, bud, no, we're not buying this. I mean, he drank it at the soccer practice, and and that's, when we don't shame when we make little mistakes like that or what have you. I mean, and that's a different podcast. Stay tuned because I'm going to do a podcast about that too. But yeah, so we need these nutrients. These are, there's these trace minerals, you need these things in your body. And when they become depleted, things stop working properly. I mean, that's just, when you're malnourished, things stop working properly. And you'll start to notice some of these things, and you notice them when you're on these hot days, when you're outside and you're sweating. Making sure, I mean, like, for example, my husband usually just drinks sweet tea. He likes his sweet tea. But when it's hot like this outside, he's working outside, he will get water, and he will even like bring little packets, or one time he had like a little jar of electrolyte powder that I had from the office. And he just brought that right to work and kept it in his bag so that he knew that he was staying hydrated, because the last thing you want to do is, be dehydrated and out in the heat like that. And you're going to get dizzy. You're going to go over, you're going to pass out. You don't want that. You don't want the heat stroke. You don't want any of that kind of thing. So you need to stay properly hydrated. And it's actually not that hard to stay properly hydrated. I mean, I like water. But adding something else into it to make sure that you have enough of all of those electrolytes is going to be really, really key. Okay. Because otherwise, your nerve function's not happening, your muscle function's not happening, your tissues are not properly repairing. There's just so many things that start to go wrong. And the other thing that these minerals are also responsible for moving things around in the body, and that includes waste and helping you to detoxify. So, you want to be able to replace that with something that's going to help you be able to continue to detoxify. Okay. So we definitely want to balance out those fluids. So, there's a couple of different ways. I mean, the easiest way is to just walk your butt right into the kitchen. And if you have a Himalayan sea salt, a Redmond's real salt, Celtic salt, some kind of sea salt, because those are going to have the good stuff in there. You want them to have like the good minerals in there. So your like table salt, like the Morton's iodized salt, no, that's no. No, no. I mean, if you're at a restaurant or something and you just want to put some salt in your water, I mean, what's on the table will be beneficial somewhat, but in your house, you should have a better salt. So, and you can get Redmond salt or Celtic sea salt. You can get those like on Amazon. You can get them at regular grocery stores. You don't need a specialty store. You'll even be able to find some good options like at Walmart, those kinds of places. Like you can get it. Okay. Let me show you. So, you walk your butt into the kitchen, right? And you get yourself some water. I distill my drinking water. That's what I love to do. I make sure you're not removing the toxins from the water. You're removing the water from the toxins when you are distilling. So we always add some mineral drops back into there. I am using one from Life Boost Coffee now. They're called coffee drops. So please use my affiliate link if you're going to be grabbing those. But they're great. You can't taste them or anything, and we just drip them in there, and then that just replenishes some of that. But in addition to that, so you have your water, whether you are, you're getting whether you have bottled water or you are getting you have spring water or you are filtering your water, whatever. Some sort of filtration is better than nothing. So whatever you got going on there, you're doing the best you can. That's good. So you're going to take your salt, a pinch of the sea salt, and put it into the water. And it doesn't have to be a ton. Like, you can make it salty if you want, but it doesn't have to taste salty. You can just put some in there. Okay. And then you're going to want to mix that up. And then a squeeze of citrus, squeeze of lemon, a squeeze of lime. Another way to do it is to just put like some cucumber and mint, which makes it super refreshing. And if you have one of the little like infusion doodads, you can put it in there, and then it doesn't like disintegrate into your water, but those, because, fruits and vegetables are loaded with these electrolytes. So to infuse your water with something like that is also going to be very helpful. So those are things that you can do like right in your kitchen. So like anybody who's like, no, I don't want to buy a product or whatever, that's simple. Okay. You probably have sea salt and some kind of citrus right there in your kitchen. Bing, bang, boom. There you go. And then you're getting all the things that you need in there. Another super easy option is something like LMNT, which is the letters LMNT. And you can get that right on Amazon. They'll deliver it to your house. Those taste pretty salty. I really like them. They have some spicy flavors, some fruity flavors. And there are some times, like especially like first thing in the morning, you want to make sure that you're drinking a bunch of water when you first wake up in the morning because you haven't had anything to drink for several hours while you've been sleeping because you should be sleeping for a good, between 7 and 9 hours, right? Everybody's getting their mandatory. So, you haven't had any fluids in that long. So you do want to replenish that when you first wake up in the morning. Okay. So, that's not only going to rehydrate you, which just brings back all the energy to everything. So there have been some mornings where I'm just like, oh, sluggish and just, kind of groggy. Maybe I didn't sleep very well. Maybe I went to bed late. Maybe I ate too close to bedtime. Who knows? My aura ring was, yelling at me. But drinking the LMNT, or the Revitalize, which I'm going to tell you about next. You can just kind of like feel yourself like morph back into human form. It's like pretty amazing. You're just like, oh wow, maybe I don't feel as craptastical as I thought that I did. I was just deficient in some minerals. I needed to get some salt into me. Perfect, right? So that's a pretty easy way to do it too. Okay. And then the one that I'm drinking right now, so if you're watching on YouTube, you can see my beverage here. So this is the Modere Revitalize, okay? And I really like this because this has ancient micro and macro minerals and that are derived from the sea and also has some derived from Himalayan salt, like in the Himalayas. So these ingredients in this actually help your body to properly be able to absorb and utilize everything. So it has some extra oomph in there. So it's going to naturally give your body the nutrients that it needs so that it's able to function better. It's going to help with your metabolism. It's going to help with your energy. And in general, most will do this, but the sourcing of them and everything, and and they're pretty and they taste yummy. It's got let me see, strawberry. I know I saw strawberry on here. They're like raspberry flavored to me, but caffeine free. Yeah, strawberry fruit juice. So there's a little bit of green tea extract in it, but it is actually caffeine free. So, but it gives you some like really good like energy boost and it replenishes all the things. And it's going to help to like, if you are on any kind of detox journey, any kind of weight loss journey, it's going to support that. So those are just some of my favorites. If you do want to order the Modere Revitalize, please use my code 734-5194 because that will save you $10 on your order. And everybody likes saving some money. So I just can't stress enough how important it is to stay hydrated. I've been kind of like chasing after my kids throughout the house. They're like running around outside and I'm like, okay, did you pause? Did you drink some water? Did you drink some electrolytes? My kids do really enjoy these. These, the Modere Revitalize. My kids literally steal these from me. I have, I think 3 other boxes in here. Because I went ahead and made sure that I ordered extra ones because my kids are constantly going in and taking out a packet and putting it into their water. And, I'm not going to discourage that because it's good for them. So definitely something that I would recommend. And then again, like the LMNT, I'm telling you, everything that I'm recommending to you is absolutely doable and going to work very well for your body. So you can spend money on it or you can grab stuff out of your kitchen. Either way, whatever works for you, you do you. Okay, so don't let your don't let everything get out of balance. Don't let your blood pH get all out of whack. It really does. These electrolytes, they're helping with everything, with the acidity of your body. So you're keeping the your pH balance in all the different places. And everything is not supposed to be the same pH balance, but your body knows what to do. So when you give it what it needs, it's going to continue to do what it needs to do. Because it's still, oh my gosh, what day is it? It's when I'm recording this, it's July 9th. So, and this is I think we're gonna put this one out tomorrow on July 10th. So we still have a while to go with the hot, dog days of summer, if you will. So I know that the rest of July is going to be hot and sunny here. It's going to be hot, sunny, and humid through a lot of the country through August, and for many places even through September. And well, some places just stay hot all the time. If you're in Florida, Florida or Texas or Arizona, all of those more southern states. So it's important that you keep your body properly hydrated. You don't want to have electrical malfunctions. It's not a pretty picture. We don't want that to happen. So please make sure that you're properly hydrating, and tell your friends, tell others. If somebody's drinking water instead of soda or tea or coffee, and I'm not saying you can't have the other things you want to drink, but you do need to have your water as well. Because yes, I know water is an ingredient in those things, but even just like carbonated water is not going to absorb in the same type of a way. So I enjoy my bubbly water. I love bubbles. I think it's an ADHD thing. I just really like the bubbles on my mouth and everything. But in terms of getting myself hydrated, that carbonated beverage is not going to do it. And then of course anything that has caffeine in it is not going to be helpful. Now something like an herbal tea that doesn't have caffeine in it, that's going to be helpful in hydrating you for sure. And that's why we would have we suggest to make popsicles out of that for when like your kids have fevers or something, so it gets some because that the depending on the fruit and the herbs that are in those herbal teas, they're going to have some antioxidants. They're going to have some of these electrolytes in there. So it's always good to replenish with things like that. So yeah, that's another way too. I'm glad I thought of that. You can totally make like some popsicles out of herbal tea or out of any of the electrolytes. Like you could definitely make a popsicle of some variety out of the Revitalize, and it would be delicious. You could even put like some fresh fruit in there to to freeze in there with it. They would be delicious. And then it's something that's actually replenishing something of your body, and it's not full of sugar that's going to dehydrate you. Because when you consume sugar, you actually don't even have to totally consume it. Okay. When you put sugar in your mouth, it just takes all of the water, everything is just depleted from it. It just dehydrates everything. So if you ever noticed, like if you have like yourself like a nice big bowl of ice cream, and then like half an hour later you're like, oh my goodness, I'm thirsty, and you go in the kitchen and you like chug a bunch of water, and I didn't realize how thirsty I was. And a lot of times it's just because of the sugar. It just dehydrates you. So those would definitely be better options for when everybody is sweating to death outside. So yeah, so take care with that, and check my videos and everything for sunshine prevention. We don't want to get burned. We want to be able to enjoy the sun, but without getting super burned. So I know I have a video about that out on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. So if you need to see that, it's there. My sunshine supplements, sunshine supplements, and proper skincare for that. Okay. All right, so that's going to conclude today. A little short and sweet. I don't even know how long it went for, but I hope you were. I sure hope that you are enjoying all of this wonderful summer sunshine. I know it's hot out there, but it still is a fun time of year. So I hope that you are getting in some great activities and you're enjoying yourself. And if it's really too hot, I hope that you're able to be either in the water or inside in some air conditioning, watching a movie or something like that. But take care of yourself and definitely stay hydrated. All right. So don't forget to leave me a 5-star review, please, 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 and tell your friends. And I can't wait to see you back here next time.